obviously.
Thank you very much for coming down. 5 hours.
Yeah, 5 hours, a bit of a stint. But mate, the offices are unreal here as well, to be fair.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, my bad, but they're cool, mate.
Yeah,
They're cool offices, mate. You got some cool space. Like the setup's cool. Love it how everything's dotted around individually. It's sick, mate. You got a cool thing going.
And for sure, you definitely give us a little bit of a kicking on the pool table, to be fair.
You've done both of us.
Yeah, I said, innit, if I lose, I won't perform well in my podcast. So I feel like you let me win, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, I didn't, mate. I tried.
I'll let you in, bro. Bro, obviously you're on 75 hard at the moment, right?
Yeah.
How many days in?
So the reason I did 75 hard was I've seen George Heaton do it.
Nice.
We haven't even spoke about him, innit? Like, we spoke about so many different people. He's a big inspiration for me as well. And I tried it when I was like 2 years ago. So when I was 21, I didn't do it, and then I just got sidetracked, so I didn't retry. Because the thing with the 75 hard is that you're meant to retry when you fail, so you go all the way back to zero.
Yeah.
And so then I didn't do it, and then me and my brother were like, at the start of this year we'd do it, and I think we just needed a little bit of focus back because the last quarter of last year was a bit all over the place. So to get focus back, we were like, right, let's do 75 hard. And then I did 30 days, and then I was on shoot, and like the girls were there, they had loads of treats and stuff like that. And my diet for the 75 hard was no chocolate, sweets or cakes.
Have you got a diet plan for it?
Nah, so like obviously it's stick to a diet.
Yeah.
It can be anything in it. So mine is no chocolate, sweets or cakes. And when I was on the shoot, I was starving, and I just picked something up, and then I was like, them croissants are really nice, aren't they? And she was like, yeah, the chocolate's dead nice in them, isn't it? And I went, fuck. No. So I didn't even realise that I did it.
How many days in at this point?
I was 30, so halfway through. So then I had to start again at 0, and then I got to day 7, and then I was in London, and I got you meant to do 2 45-minute exercises, and I got into London at like 12:30, so I didn't have time to do the second 45 in the day.
It's harsh.
So yeah, I know, but like you have to be honest with yourself in it. So I went all the way back to 0. And then I'm on I've got like 6 days left now.
Cal cheated on his, to be fair.
I didn't. I don't think I did.
Whoa.
So basically on mine, right, I must have been halfway through, and I actually specifically chose a diet. So I ate the same foods, the same macros every single day, and I was losing weight.
Yeah.
Like rapidly, like muscle, everything. So I thought like, this is ridiculous. So I think I might have had like 10 grams of almonds, and I upped it to like maybe 100 grams, 75, 100.
Yeah.
And like I told Jack, and he goes, mate, you failed. I was like, why have I failed? He goes,
It's fair, innit?
And
agree.
then, it's just fair. It's fair.
I'm only missing that.
The thing is though, like it's stuck with me now, and I like in my head.
You want to do it again?
Well, I will do it again eventually, but like I persevered with it and I did it.
Yeah.
But still, it's just stuck with me in my head. Like that's a burner for me. I'm just like, fuck. I upped it by 60 grams or whatever. And
I think if you're losing weight though, and it's detrimental to your health, I think it's okay changing it, innit?
that's what I thought. But like when you got your pal in your ear going, mate, you failed.
Yeah. But mate, the thing is, mate, like with it actually does get a bit too hefty.
You think?
Mate, I got my blood work done after.
Yeah.
And like, I can't remember what section of my blood work it was.
Creatine levels.
Creatine levels, yeah, that's the one for like basically recovery.
Yeah.
Mate, they're supposed to be in a range of between like, I don't want to fucking quote it and get it wrong, but I'm sure it's like between like 150 and 320.
Creatine levels?
Yeah.
Were you taking creatine at the same time?
No, it's what was it, Cal? Do you know what it was?
I think it is creatine levels.
I don't think it's actually creatine.
Okay.
But it's like creatine levels.
Oh, okay.
And mate, they were at 2,328. So like 6x.
Well, the thing is, we don't know what it is, but like, because it's 6 times more, it just seems ridiculous.
Well, I got a coach, and he was just like, mate, that's fucking insane.
Why did he say, like, what would cause that from the 75 hard?
Basically overtraining.
Yeah, but like, so for my second exercise of the day is just going to walk.
Yeah, mate, I go ham though.
Yeah, well,
So,
that's
I know,
not,
yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I know, yeah. And but like, yeah, mate, I was just running a lot. It was lockdown as well. I think it was just after lockdown, so like, it was kind of like there wasn't too much to do it. I just like got rid of a girl as well, so I was like, I need to fucking get shredded. So yeah, I kind of hit it a bit too hard, to be fair.
The why I like it so much, lad, is because I like reading, but I could never get in a routine. So like, sometimes the majority of the time I'm either all or nothing. So like I would read a full book in like a weekend and then not read for ages. But now it's like 10 pages a day, and that's like minimum. So I'll be doing 20, 30 pages a day. And like, it's just got me in a routine of reading. And even when I do finish the 75 hard, I'm probably not going to drink because I don't miss it at all. And then the reading as well, like I just like in my spare time, wherever I am, if I've got spare time, I'll just read.
Like, do you read a book or is it Audible? Or?
So started reading books like from the start of the year, and then just on the weekend, like I was telling you before, with Audible, with Kindle, and then WhisperSync on the iPad, so it tracks the words as they're speaking, so you're also reading and listening at the same time, so it's like 2 senses, and you can go speed it up, so like 1.5 speed, like, and it still goes all in. Like you think, oh no, I couldn't listen, it's too quick, but it's actually not, because you're looking at the words as well. It actually, it's a really good way to read and take in all the information.
I had reading as one of mine, but I always used to find, when I was doing 75 hard, I used to find that I was doing the reading last thing in the day. And like, mate, sometimes I get back from doing like the first exercise, the first workout, second workout. I'd be home at like 10:30, 11. I'd be like, fuck, I've got to read 30 pages. And I'd be sat in bed, like asleep, just trying to read.
It makes you kippy as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. And like, I thought it was almost detrimental because I wasn't even absorbing the information.
Yeah.
I was just like trying to read through it as hard as I could.
Yeah, like I read first thing when I wake up. So I wake up, read for like 45 minutes.
That's a stint, bro.
I know, but like,
I rate it. I'm just saying it's a stint.
I get it. At the same time, I'll be like getting a coffee as well, because obviously it's Audible. You can walk around, sit down, still track the words, and then like get up, get a coffee. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not necessarily moving loads, but even like when it's read the paragraph out, you can like just like daydream about that paragraph basically, and just like, and then you can just go back to where you were and then read on. And then I'll go to the gym, and then before work, I've already done my reading and done the gym. So all I need to do is like stick to the diet, which isn't hard, stick to no drinking, which isn't hard, and then just do an exercise when I get home.
Mate, that's what I miss about 75 hard. It's the fucking routine, mate. When I'm out of routine, mate, I literally feel so off-centered. It's awful.
Yeah, me and my brother have a good routine anyway. I say that like me and my brother do everything together. Like we have a good routine anyway, but that just made it even more like packed into the day. Do you know what I mean? Like it's so basically we were doing the 75 hard, but just not sticking to a diet really. So that's why the 75 hard hasn't been that tough for us, because it's basically what we do anyway, just with another exercise in.
Mate, the diet element is so key though, because like consistently eating at the right times at the same time as well, it just means your energy levels are like plateaued. Do you know what I mean? Rather than being like sky and that, and it's just, do you know what I mean, Cal?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I found the diet part of it easiest when I did it.
Yeah, same.
I found it easiest because I just, do you know what, mate? I prefer, it sounds ridiculous, but I prefer eating the same food all the time, because like, I don't actually like having to think about or having to choose, because there's so much choice.
They like waste mental calories.
I'm like, I'll rather just eat like the same things all the time, as long as it, it's like relatively healthy and whatnot. I don't know how good that is for you though, by the way, eating the same things all the time, but like I can't be bothered to waste time thinking, because otherwise I'd be like in the shop, I'd be like, cool, I don't know what I fancy. Might get a bit of that, might get a bit of this, but just chicken rice, mate. Chicken rice and veg, like oats.
Basics, mate. The basics are the best, mate. They always have been and they always will be.
Yeah, so true.
That's why they are the basics, mate. The stapletons in the diet. Yeah. But obviously with that, it's fucking, the hardest part about it is the prep. Do you know what I mean? It's prepping the night before. Are you prepping your food at the moment?
Because like, so the diet I'm on is just no chocolate cakes or sweets. Yeah. So like, it's actually not that, it's not that like, so like I'll just get like food from somewhere, do you know what I mean? As long as it's not chocolate cake and sweets. And that's the beauty about the 75 hard. You can pick anything, and as long as you stick to it. Because it's not really a physical challenge, it's more of a mental toughness challenge.
Yeah.
So like the reading, like you said, getting in at 10:30 and having to read 10 pages, you're like, oh, I'm not doing that, but you have to.
Yeah.
And the same with the second exercises as well. So like the diet's not, because I'm like not overweight or anything. Like if anything, I'm losing too much weight at the moment because of my running. So like the diet's not the issue for me, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the come down after is harsh, by the way.
What, like...
Mate, I got a Domino's, like, I swear, I got a Domino's the day after, mate, and like,
grim?
mate, I felt awful, mate. I would not recommend that to anyone.
It makes you realise, like, it kind of makes you feel shit, like, oh, I've just eaten a Domino's.
Yeah.
Like, after all those days, even though the challenge is over, it's like, why did I do that?
I'm a loser. Yeah, that's literally what I thought. I was looking at myself in the mirror the next day, just like,
I think that a lot.
Yeah, mate, it's that inner voice, mate. We've all got it.
Obviously, do you think you and your brother doing it spurs each other on?
We're very competitive, and we're competitive about anything. Like cup of tea, who makes the better cup of tea? Like we'll argue and like not argue, like, but we'll like plead our case as to why we are better at each other than everything.
He's your big brother, isn't he?
Yeah, so he's 5 years older than me. We were never close growing up. We shared a bedroom for like 15 years.
Mad.
Until he went off to uni. And we were never that close until he came back to uni. So I was thinking about that the other month. It was a weird dynamic. I forgot about it. But yeah, we do everything together. He's just moved out, so we don't see each other as much as we used to. But yeah, I love him. Yeah.
It must be like not difficult, but like obviously working with your brother and whatnot, doing 75 hard, you train with your brother as well. Like it must be difficult to, I don't want to say like maintain a healthy relationship, but like stay brothers, friends, and, you know, work colleagues as well.
I think it mainly comes from him in terms of like, I'm quite an erratic person. I like make decisions quickly. I like taking risks. He's a little bit dissimilar in that way. Like he just understands me very, very, very well. And he knows how to deal with me. So if I am in like doing something, he'll be like, oh, he's just having a moment. He'll be doing that. Like, just leave me to it. We haven't, like, there's never been a situation where we fell out really, like at all.
Bro, it's the same with your brother though, isn't it?
Yeah. So, with my little brother, whilst you were saying that, that's what I was thinking about as well. But we were so competitive. Like when we were younger, like it was just constant competition.
How old's the difference between you two?
2 years.
Okay.
So it's actually quite, you know, a small difference. Yeah. Even though, like, so I say 2 years, but like we're vastly different.
Yeah.
But, the competitive side was just like constant all the time. Like, mate, to the point, I'm such a sore loser, especially when I was younger. I was so sore. Like we'd play FIFA and I would literally like throw the controller at his face if he beat me. I'd be so pissed off.
There's so many people who do that, innit?
That's what I mean. But like we both played sport to a reasonable level.
Yeah.
And the competitive edge probably allowed each other to, you know, obtain a little bit further in the sport because he played football, I played football, he played cricket, I played cricket.
Yeah.
I feel like everything we did not together, but like the same sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you're the older brother, so like you usually want to win, right?
Always want to win.
Yeah, older brother mentality. Like the younger one's always chasing, isn't he?
Me and my brother are playing squash at the moment on Sundays and he's having a torrid time.
Really?
Love it, mate, love it.
Bro, I'm super interested. Obviously, you know, in terms of you and your brother, you mentioned like you stayed in the same bedroom for 15 years and whatnot. You were born in Liverpool, right?
Mm-hmm.
What were you like growing up?
In terms of just as an individual,
yeah, just as a youngster.
So we grew up in like a wealthy area, but like we weren't like a wealthy family. So like all my friends, they all, like had loads of money. So like we were always surrounded by like money. But my mum and dad wanted. They've got 4 kids. They wanted to like grow us up in an area that was like that would benefit us for when we grow older and stuff like that. So like we never like just got by, but like we would never have anything that we didn't need, that we never got given anything that we didn't need.
Yeah.
So like there was never like extra special gifts or like extra pair of trainers. It was like, you need that, you don't need anything more. And like, cause we grew up with kids with loads of money, we always wanted more. So we were always hungry for, like me and Joe in particular, we were always hungry for more. So like we were very, very, very entrepreneurial kids. So like there's pictures of me doing like car boot sales on my nan and granddad's front lawn on my like front garden.
Gary V style.
Yeah, literally. But like it wasn't ever to be like, oh, I want to have a business one day. It was more like, I want a bit of money so I can buy some trainers to fit in. Do you know what I mean? And like, I feel like that was a healthy mentality to have because we always had to work for the stuff we got. Like we were never just given it. And like started working at like 12 or 13 as a football referee. And then
That's a random one, by the way.
I was going to say, that's young as well. Like 12 years old football referee. Is that obviously when kids refereeing, is it? Or?
Yeah. No, so you could become a referee. Like that's the age you have to be. I think it might have been 13. 13,
but
like you can do your course.
Are you refereeing like kids games rather than adult games?
Yeah, not adult games.
I was going to say, if I'm an adult and I've got a 12-year-old blowing the whistle,
you could be refereeing older people than you because like if you were 12, you could be doing under 16s.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like, yeah, that was actually quite fun and it was character building. But more so to like the managers, like the kids you were reffing, you not asked about them. It's like the managers, like, and the adults on the sidelines. It was actually like I was thinking about it on the way here. Like it was actually really beneficial for like communication as well. And like I was always around, because I'm the youngest of 4, I was always around older people. So like my communicating skills was always very, very good. And I think that's helped me massively. But yeah, like school, didn't really like school. I just never felt like I fitted in. Like I wasn't very academically clever. I could have done well if I tried, and I did do well. Like I didn't do bad, but like I could have done a lot better if I put my mind to it. I just hated being there. And when we got into sixth form, started the business, and instead of going to the lessons, I was just like delivering shoes all around Liverpool. So like that was like the dynamic of that. And I didn't really, I knew I didn't want to go to uni. And then as soon as I left, I started the business full time.
Is that when it started then, when you were 16 selling shoes?
17, yeah.
17 selling shoes. What were the first pair of shoes you bought?
A pair of Moncler sandals, and we actually sold them to Joe's now girlfriend.
Oh,
That's
really?
unreal, mate.
Before they were together.
I think they were a little thing.
Why was it fashion then? Why did you go for shoes?
So we've always been into shoes, not necessarily luxury shoes. So like Hirachis, like 110s, MX95s. Like our garage at home, my dad gets frustrated to hell because like there's probably like 300 pairs of shoes in there, just like, or just thrown in like on like just a big mound of shoes, like not sorted whatsoever. Like we've always loved trainers. And then like in Liverpool at the time, there was like a period where people were just taking pictures of their clothes, like their like designer clothes that they've worn on the weekend. Because in Liverpool, like if you wear something more than once, like don't do it. Like you wear it
Really?
once. Yeah, like a lot of like rotation on fashion. So like take a picture of it and then they put it on Instagram, and it was when you could sell loads of stuff on, like it was when Instagram was basically like a shop. It was like setting up a free shop. And like you could take a picture of it, they put it on a post and they'd sell it. And I was looking at this thinking, this is sick. Like it's so easy to make a business. I want to do this. And I was thinking I can't do menswear because everyone does menswear and there was no women's wear pages at all. So I was like to Joe, do you want to do this but do women's wear? And it's a bit rogue because like none of us were obviously into women's fashion. He was like, yeah, sounds like literally. He was like, yeah, let's do it. And we did it. And it was very slow to start off with. No one wanted to be associated with the brand because it was secondhand, it was dirty, it was disgusting, it was like all that type of stuff. And then, yeah, it just grew into what it's grown into now.
So where did you get the secondhand pairs from? Like, where would you buy
eBay,
them from?
Depop.
So it's eBay.
Yeah, so we'd search, which is really cool because we work really closely with eBay now. And that's how we started. We used to buy stuff off eBay and then just basically sell it again for like 10, 20 quid more. And then when we'd sell it, we'd be like, yes, made it.
Thing is, it's like a bit risky on eBay because you don't know what you're going to get. Like someone might be, trying to flog a pair of Moncler trainers and they're like scuffed and all sorts.
Yeah, facts, but it was backed by PayPal guarantee. So like if it wasn't as described, you could get your money back.
Yeah, you must have had some horror stories with it though.
Not too bad. Like fake pairs used to get shipped to us all the time, but again, PayPal money back guarantee, didn't lose much money, maybe lost 1 or 2 cases out of like hundreds, which wasn't too bad. Stuff that's like scuffed and that, but like in the early days, you can always sell something. Do you know what I mean? Like even if it was scuffed, you'd either reach out to them and be like, look, this wasn't listed, can I have some money back? And then we'd sell it for a little bit more so we'd still make money on it. Or we'd just be like, don't want it. And like most of the time they'll be like, we have to keep it. And then we're like, well, we don't because it's backed by PayPal, and then we'd send it back. And yeah, that was like early. Oh, there was so many times when we had to do that. Thinking about it now, I forgot about that. So many times where we just had to be like back and forth with someone because it wasn't as described.
Yeah, I bet, mate.
Yeah, that's bringing back some memories.
Sure, mate. I can imagine like you just shotting trainers out the car at that point.
Yeah. So like we'd put it on Instagram, and then people in Liverpool, like we didn't really ship out then. It was just delivering around Liverpool. They'd be like, yeah, can I have these? And then we'd drive like half an hour, turn up, and they wouldn't fit. And that's just go home. Like that was how it was early days. It was so sick.
Mate, we used to sell snapbacks.
Yeah.
Like Obey snapbacks. They were like the thing back in the day. Yeah. One of our friends at the time, he used to get them from China, and then we would just resell them over here.
Yeah.
But we were just delivering snapbacks out the car. Nice. And I look back at it now and I'm thinking like, used to do like a 500% markup on it. So like buy them in at £3 and sell them at £15 a unit. It's decent money in it for like 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds.
Yeah,
obviously, with your shoes, I know that that's where it starts, and I know we've got to where we're at today. But obviously, when you are like selling them out the car and whatnot, what's the like vision? Are you thinking I want to do this full time? Or?
No, so this was like I knew I didn't want to go to uni. I knew I didn't want to go to London for a job because I got offered a job with the civil service. I was like, I don't really want to do that. So I was like, I just want to do this, and it was just a bit like, let's just make some money from this and see where it leads. And then about 6 months before lockdown, we got onto TikTok, and then lockdown came, and then we exploded on TikTok. And I was like, holy shit, this is us.
That's mad, obviously, but that's quite far forward. So you start out just selling the shoes with your brother, right?
Yeah.
How do things sort of pan out from there?
It's like a trip down memory lane. So like, it was literally just for money on the side.
What were you doing like for the full-time work?
I was in Tesco.
Mate,
we've been there.
We were there as well,
me
bro.
and him used to sit next to each
Check
other.
out, boys.
I was on trolleys.
Well,
Yeah. Nah, it was class. on like a nice sunny day, it was class.
Yeah, what about when it's raining, bro?
Yeah, true.
Trolley boys
just
is hard.
though, innit? You just do as little work as possible. A lot of people in interviews, when we like interview people and they say they've worked at Tesco, we're like, that's like a real benefit, because we know like 6 or 7 people who work for us have worked at a supermarket before.
Yeah.
And we rate it so much, because like you learn so much, like communication skills.
Customer service as
Yeah,
well.
literally like.
Especially on checkouts when you got someone.
Oh, mate, but it is shit, mate. Like there's no getting around it. Like, you know, when you look back at it, it's funny now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But when you're in the trenches and you're working there, mate, it's tough.
Sometimes I used to find sometimes right, like sat on the checkouts and you've got like chatty customers and you can just like socialize with them. But then you get the customers that are just like blank face and like pat my bags for me. I'm like, come on, man.
Go to Tesco's now. There's no tills.
Yeah, we said that the other day, didn't we? Like,
I think now though, if I was to go back into Tesco and like do the customer on the checkouts and stuff like that, I wouldn't love doing it as like a career, but I would love to do it for like a week, because like I've learned so many skills in my business, and like you're dealing with people so much that like I think I would learn so much off those people as well that were coming through, because like I don't really see anyone at the moment, because like we're not customer facing. I would just love to speak to people for like a week full on and like test out my skills that I've learned over the past like 4 years.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
It would be game changing if I went back now.
Yeah.
To be fair, we did get some customer service awards back then, didn't we?
I did. I think you did. I think Jack might have won Employer of the Month.
I did, yeah.
He won Employer of the Month at Tesco. Thing is, when you go Tesco now, what do you go for? Checkout or self-service?
No, self-service.
Yeah,
see, mate, I can't remember the last time I went checkout.
It's a game changer, isn't it? It's like new age, mate. There's going to be no tills eventually.
Thing is, it's just like have
you seen the Amazon stores?
Yeah.
The Amazon
sick.
Fresh ones?
I haven't.
They're crazy.
They are nuts. Basically, you walk into the store, if I'm right in saying, they track your movement through the cameras, and then you don't have to pay for anything because it just takes it directly off your Amazon
You literally
account.
just put it in your bag and you walk out.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good, you know.
Sad,
Why not?
mate.
Why not?
Well, I'm just thinking like, if they're just taking it directly out your account or whatever you've got, and you're just like walking around, I don't know. I just think like, if that is that now, like in 10 years time, what does that get to? Like it's a scary thought. Like, I can't fathom it now, but if that's what technology is now,
Oh, okay, just technology as a whole.
just as a whole, and like just the whole, you know, like
Human interaction
human
and whatnot.
interaction,
Yeah,
and
but
whatnot. It's like
I reckon people said that about like when the first mobile phone came out.
Yeah, but
what's it going to turn into? Look what it has turned into.
yeah, you're right, and I'm with you. But at the same time, like it is scary. Like use ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But what I'm saying is 20 years ago or 30 years ago, people would have said that's scary.
I know, mate, but I think it's scary, right? Because of the scalability of it.
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It's not like
think of the development in the last 20 years, and think about how quickly it's gone. And from like now to 20 years, it's going to be exponential. It'll be so much quicker. So it's like the thought of where it's going to get to. Don't get me wrong, is like exciting, but also it's like quite scary.
No, I agree. Scary. Okay.
Yeah.
But like question, what are you going to do about it?
mate, I'm going to ride the wave and go with it.
Exactly. Like you've got no other choice.
For sure.
So instead of like, I'm not saying you complain about it, but a lot of people out there will be and like being scared and all this. Like what's that going to benefit? There's no benefit
I
to
agree,
being
Mate,
like that.
you can't stop it, mate. I'm optimistic about it, but at the same time, I heard Rogan say, if you let the genie out the bottle and you can't get the genie back in the bottle, that's the issue.
Yeah.
And I could definitely see that happening.
But like nuclear weapons, do you know what I mean? Like,
the thing is, I am with you on that. It's just like in my head, I'm thinking like, where could that get to?
Yeah.
And like, don't get me wrong, the only option we do have, we were speaking about it the other day, you know, about the whole revolution and whatnot and what's going on.
Yeah.
And like, there's nothing you can do. So there's no point in wasting energy on it.
Yeah. You like we said before, you're wasting mental calories thinking about it.
It is true, but like still, you can still think that to fathom where it's going to get to is quite scary.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what it is, mate. It could potentially be the end of mankind.
Fuck off.
It could, bro. It genuinely could, mate. Like how far it stretches is scary, mate. Because like, you know, we are chimps compared to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we are, mate.
That's fair.
And if it does go that way and it goes that deep, then like, how do we fit in? The only way is to merge with it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the only way, in my opinion.
What are you thinking? You're looking at us thinking you two are weirdos.
Yeah.
I just think we've been in like, it's about when farmers said that about tractors, when they said no, horses is enough.
I'm with you, by the way.
Yeah.
And I want to be as optimistic as you.
I'm not being like, it's not that I'm being optimistic. It's that like, I just don't think I'm being pessimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
If
probably,
that makes sense.
probably a good way to be, mate. Don't get me wrong, but like, I still can't like hide from the. I don't want to say the facts, but like, I can't hide from where it could go. I'm not gonna lie, but I will ride it. Don't get me wrong. It's the only thing you can do. Yeah. And also, if you want to progress in the world individually, that's all you can do as well. You've got no choice.
You best be utilizing it, you know, especially when it comes to the business. Otherwise, well, from my perspective, otherwise it's like you'll get left behind.
Yeah. And like going back to that point about like tractors and stuff like that. So like I know what you're saying. There's been no place for us, and you have to merge with it. Well, like it will get a lot of people out of jobs, but it will also create a lot of jobs as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just not sure about the disparity between those two.
What does disparity mean?
So basically, I think there's going to be a lot more people unemployed from it than new jobs created.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my thought process, but I have no idea. I don't think anyone does yet.
Fact,
you know what I mean? Yeah. But obviously, let's to pull back on the story. So you know, you start.
We went off on one there.
Mate, it's standard, bro. But obviously, mate, you start selling, you know, the kicks out the cars, right? And
I like
obviously,
that kicks out cars.
Yeah, kicks out the car, and obviously with that, you know, you start gaining some traction. Is that fair to say?
Not really. To be fair, I would say like but at a minute scale. So I think when you start anything. And when you continue to do something, it just compounds. But obviously at the start, it's compounding very slowly.
Yeah.
So like, we'd go from selling like 1 pair a week to like 2 a week. So like, it's not massive. And then it would go to like 5 a fortnight. So it wasn't like massive growth. Like, it was so slow. It was so slow. And we went like weeks and months without selling. I think we went the longest was like 64 days without selling anything.
But how do you stay motivated at that point to sort of keep doing it on the side? I know you're working and whatnot.
So there was a phase where like we went on my older brother's stag do, and then we got back from it. I remember, so like me and my brother were standing on the landing, and we were looking at each other, and we were like in the room, the door was open where all the shoes were, and we were saying like, shall we carry it on? And I was like, well, if we do, we have to do it 100%, because we haven't been doing it 100% because we wouldn't be going 64 days without selling a shoe. We're not. And we looked at each other and we were just like, we're going to do it. We're going to give it all we've got for the next 6 months and see where it gets us. And 6 months later, we look back and we were like, we're in a very good place now. If we do this for another 6 months, we could be even further along. And it just kept on building like that.
What did you specifically change there in that 6 months?
We just like tried. Do you know what I mean? Like we were answering people really quickly. We were setting KPIs for ourselves, like how many items of stock to buy. We were testing Instagram ads. Like we were actually doing things instead of just like playing the victim and being like, why does no one want what we're selling? Like we actually took control and we're like, we have to. I've never told the story before. Like we were genuinely so close to quitting. Just like actually taking steps in the right direction.
What were your parents like at that point? Because like
this was like still early on, so like we were still in school. I was still in school, and Joe was still in just fresh out of uni. So like this was like, it wasn't like we took the risk to go full time with it. It was still like a part-time thing. Yeah,
mate, it's interesting, isn't it? All it takes is that decision. Like rather than having 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and just saying like we're going to go all in on this. And all it takes, we've said about this on the podcast before, all it takes is a year of hard work to change your life.
Agreed. That came through in lockdown for us. Yeah, agreed.
For sure, mate. And obviously, you know, when you do go all in for that 6 months.
But do you know what? Sorry, I disagree with that in slightly. To jump in, like a year of hard work will change your life, but it's not that year. It's like what you learn in that year that you'll take forward with you as well.
Hang on.
So like the year will change your life, but like you can't just stop. Obviously, you can't just stop after that year. But like it teaches you so much that you become. So if you focus on yourself for a year, you become so self-aware of what you need to do to carry that on. And I think that's exactly what that lockdown period taught me and Joe. Like we worked so hard, but like it wasn't even hard because like it was easy because like all we did was set KPIs, did them every single day, and it just compounded naturally. And we were like, oh, this is what we need to do.
Bro, it's the mindset shift.
Agreed.
That's all it is. It's just like the commitment. Like I think Tony Robbins talks about it. It's when you commit, you burn the boats. You burn the boats, you take the island, and you have to take it.
Agreed, but action needs to follow.
100%. Like it's the only thing that can follow, right? So obviously when you do sort of go full time with it and go all in for that 6 month period, how do you sort of generate the business? Because obviously at that point, it's kind of you and your brother and just you two, not huge budget. How does it go from there?
I love this story. So we started the business with, so Joe took a loan out for £10,000 for a car. £9,000 went on that car I'm driving outside.
Oh, nice.
And we had £1,000 left over. I had 200 quid. So we like 1,200 quid. Let's just start with that. And then like, we just like rolled and flipped. And literally we've had no investment and we're still here. We're at the point we are today with no investment still. But early on, I was like, how do you grow your business? So like, what do you do? Like your YouTube, how do you grow your business?
Is that what you did?
Yeah. I just sat down. I was like, how do you grow your business?
Love it.
Literally as simple as that. And that's why it's so easy for people to do. They just need to, like I said before, take action. And with action comes motivation. So like, I Googled that and I shit you not, the answer that like came up, like changed my life. It was a Gary Vee video. We talked about him before. It was a Gary Vee video. Clicked it. And it's like, if you want to grow your business, you need to grow yourself. And I literally, my mind was just blown. I was like, whoa. So I watched the whole video and I was like, if I want to take this far, I need to change me as a person, because the person I am right now is basically a loser.
What was that person?
So like,
it's cold as well, isn't it? To have that reality check with yourself.
Yeah. Like my jaw dropped and I was like, oh shit, like, I've got a long way to go.
Tell us, like, what was that person that you called?
Yeah, so like, judgy of people.
Yeah.
Victim mindset. So like I would always say like life's unfair. Like, I would always say that, like, it's so unfair. So like just playing a victim. I would be going out a lot, like drinking, partying. I wasn't surrounded by people who would push me, and that was my own fault. It's not their fault at all. It's just my like, I didn't surround myself with the right people. And like, I felt like life owed me something. I felt like I just wasn't grateful for anything at all. At all. Like, honestly, I was just like people say, like, when I describe the story, like, oh, you're so hard on yourself. Like, people who actually knew me back then, they're like, you're really hard on yourself. And like, I just felt like, I genuinely looking back because I'm so proud of the person I've become today now, I look back at that person and think like, not like you're such a loser, but it's like, you were so lost and like, so like I just feel so sorry for that kid. So sorry for him.
I think as well, like nowadays you say being hard on yourself, but it's not being hard, it's just being realistic.
Yeah.
And because like, I've had those moments as well where I look at myself or for myself and I think like you're a bit of a loser, and I used to think, am I being hard on myself? It's like, no, I'm being realistic. Like these traits like are not going to be able to support me where I want to get to. So like, you need to change them.
You have to become, so like, before you are the person you want to be, you have to think like that person. You have to act like that person. Do you know what I mean? You have to like think like constantly, who's the person I want to become, and take the action to become that person. And like, it might take you a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but as long as you're kind of like pretending to be that person, then you will eventually turn into that person, if that makes sense.
Mate, you're just chasing your future self, right?
If you heard Matthew McConaughey's...
I was literally thinking of that right then.
Yeah, oh, it's the best.
Was that what his
the
speech?
Oscar speech.
Well.
Mate, do you know what's funny is like, this is hilarious. So like before, like this is a long time ago, but a couple of years ago when me and Jack started out the podcast, we practiced speeches for our speech, and I did that. I did that one.
Yeah.
Like, I was sat in my room recording myself, like doing the Matthew McConaughey speech.
By the way, there's context to that. We were trying to work on our speech and
of course.
development.
And delivery, but like that's just sprung to my head because that's the one that I did.
I listened, so on the way up, he did a... So on
He's
the way,
a G, mate.
On the way up to... Have you read his book, Green Lights?
I haven't read it,
Sick.
but I've heard him talk about it.
So I was trying to like get myself in the mood for the podcast, obviously, when I was coming up here. So it's like half an hour drive, and he did a talk at Dallas University, I think it was, and I just put that on, and that is so sick.
Yeah, mate. I love them talks at the university. Denzel Washington's done a few, and he's a G, mate. Obviously, mate, I'm interested. At that point, how old are you when you have that self-reflection moment?
19.
It's quite young.
Yeah, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. Like I'm so aware of how. I wouldn't say it's lucky, but I'm how fortunate I am that I realised it so early, because a lot of my friends from school are going through that phase of like, just, they don't really know who they are, and they don't know what they want to do, and they don't know what direction they want to take their life in. Like, I realised it so early, and I'm so fortunate because of that.
Do you reckon that's because you were the youngest of
Yeah,
four?
I like I was saying at the beginning, I've always surrounded myself with older people. So like, I have my friends from school, but then I also have other friends which were like my brother's friends, and then older people. So like at cricket, I wouldn't chill with my team. I'd chill with the granddads and dads watching, because like I just naturally gravitated towards older people because obviously my two older brothers all my life. So like, yeah, like our defo was introduced to wisdom a lot earlier than other people.
You can't beat experience either. Do you know what I mean? When people say about that, like when I was younger, I would take that for granted. Like, and I wouldn't even listen to people that were older than me because like I was, you know, just like
you knew better than it.
Do you know what I mean? I thought I did.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like
I listen to my mum now, and I think you're fucking bang on the money. With like half of the stuff you said to me, but at the time, I just didn't want to hear it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I was the same.
Yeah, just ignorance.
Yeah, but it's not even ignorance. It's
You
just
don't think?
you don't know what you don't know, and like until you experience it, it's like.
Smart people know what they don't know.
Yeah. Well, like now I've got older, I've learned to learn from other people's mistakes, but I had to go through my own trials and tribulations in order to get there, right?
It's a journey, yeah.
It is, mate. Obviously, so you take that self-reflection moment, then you kickstart with the business for the next 6 months, right?
Yeah.
So how do you actually start like sort of pushing the business at that point?
Being consistent's a massive one. So just turning up every day, like literally, it doesn't matter how efficient and effective you are, as long as you're turning up every day. That's all that matters. Obviously, you have to be growing like more than 20% a year. But like just turning, like for people just starting, my biggest advice would be just turn up. Don't go out on the Friday because you'll be rough on the Saturday.
And a Sunday.
And a Monday.
Trust me.
So like sacrifice and consistency. That was massive at early days. Working on your self-awareness, like knowing your strengths, knowing what you can delegate. For me, I feel so sorry for people doing it on their own. You two resonate with that. Like for me, I had Joe. So Joe took his strengths. He did his strengths.
What was he doing then?
So like, he was cleaning shoes. He was cleaning shoes and he was getting a lot out back then. Yeah, that was sick. So he was cleaning shoes. I was doing like customer experience. So like packaging and all that sort of stuff. And then obviously the videos on social media. And then I was dealing with like customers coming in as well because we had a shop at that time. So customers were coming in.
So you got a shop. That must have been early doors to get a shop, right?
It wasn't really a shop. It was like an office space, like showroom inside a warehouse. So like we would work from there, but like people would come in as well.
That's mad, mate.
Yeah.
To be getting a showroom at like 19 years old for shoes. I've just never heard of a showroom for shoes. Have you?
But like that's what you were saying. Like, how do you kickstart the business? Well, it's like taking steps to, if you want it to become so it's like reverse engineering. If you want to become the biggest in the world at something, then reverse engineer the steps. So like, what's the biggest in the world? So it's like, okay, the biggest in Europe. What's the biggest in Europe? Okay, it's the biggest in the UK. What's the biggest in the UK? It's the biggest in Liverpool. How to become the biggest in Liverpool? Let's start on that first.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
And that's how we are now the biggest in the UK.
Nice.
Is that something that you took on board at that point though? Because
I don't
in
think
hindsight.
Yeah, I don't think consciously, no. But like it was definitely like over like the past 18 months, that's exactly what the thought process was subconsciously, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite interested. We've mentioned about the growth of the business within that 6, 12, 18 months, but like you mentioned that you went from, inverted commas loser to like there's a lot of self-development. Like how did you start becoming the person that you wanted to?
Yeah. YouTube. So like this is what everyone says.
The thing is, mate, I was sat at work the other day, right, and I'm playing. There's a couple of older guys at work, and like we play badminton against each other. I've never played before, right? And they said to me like, "Oh, like we'll thrash." And I was like, "I'll literally just it's doubles we're doing as well." And I was like, "I'll just watch a YouTube tutorial about positions within badminton."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, that's just stupid." And I'm like, "I don't actually think that's stupid. Like if I can watch
logical.
It's logical, isn't it? But they can't fathom it because they're like, "What do you mean you're going to watch a tutorial on YouTube?" I'm like, "It's pretty much like having a lesson."
Yeah. No, it is like 100%. So like. I was aware that I needed to grow myself to grow my business. So I was like, how do I grow myself? So I was like, YouTube, motivational speakers. And then like Gary Vee came up, Jordan Peterson came up. Who else did I listen to back then? Matthew McConaughey was a big one as well.
Grant Cardone?
No, I don't like him.
I didn't think he'd resonate with you, but he's always in the mix.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, to be fair, I've gone off him. I used to like him.
I hate sellers, like salespeople. I absolutely hate. Sorry if any of you, like, if you've done it before, but I just like
Jackson sells. So.
Yeah,
I'm not in sales, but for sure.
I just dislike the whole like
check out Cole Gordon,
motive.
bro.
Like the whole motive is just like extracting as much value from you for as much money as possible that they can get. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Mate, I disagree. I'll be honest with you.
Obviously, lads, because you're a salesperson.
But you've met me today. Would you consider me a salesperson?
No, so like when I say I don't like salesperson, it's not like I don't like them personally. It's just like in work, day to day, if there's a sales call, I will not hop on it.
Yeah.
I will not hop on it just because they just put me in a bad mood, lads. They just do generally.
Oh, mate.
Generally.
See,
Genuinely.
I love salespeople that are good salesmen.
Yeah,
So
no,
like-
lads, agreed. Agreed, because you don't know you're getting sold to.
Yeah.
But when you know you're getting sold to,
Sleazy, innit?
Yeah, agreed. I like that because
sure.
it shows that they're good at the craft. Agreed. I take that back. But I hate people who are just like, because obviously I read a lot of books, so I know a lot of sales techniques. So like when one doesn't work, they'll try another one, and like I'm just looking like, please just stop.
Yeah.
Because like sorry lads, you go on the call for one thing and you want to get one thing, and then they try and do all these add-ons for more money, and then they try and like incentivize you by taking money. Oh, like, I just hate it. It gets me going. I'm sorry.
Mate, I'm with you, bro. I know exactly what you mean. I don't like being sold to like for a product that I don't want. But like good salespeople usually sell to people that, you know, require their service, and that's what makes them like a good salesman to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But obviously, mate, so the business starts kickstarting. Talk us through it. How does it sort of grow from there? So you get your showroom.
Yeah, get a showroom, and then, well, it got a little bit busier, but not busy. Like I think we were doing like probably 30k in revenue for the year.
So it's quite slim at that point.
That's not a lot, especially with the high value products we're selling. Like our average order then was probably about 200 quid. So that's not a lot. That's like 150, 200 products a year. That's not a lot. And then lockdown came and we lost 90% of business, or 95% of business.
So that 30k went down to what, like 20, like to 5k?
Like nothing. Yeah. Like literally nothing. And then, so Gary Vee kept on going on about TikToks. Like, you need to get on TikTok. You need to get on TikTok. And I was thinking, he's got a few multi-billion-dollar businesses. Why is he going on about an app that no one knows about yet? And I looked into it, and he wasn't an investor in it or anything. I was like, interesting. So then I started doing TikTok videos, and then in the first 9 videos, one went viral. It was like 700,000 views in like a day.
Mad.
I was thinking, Jesus Christ. So like the most views I've ever seen was like 1,000 views on Instagram. I got 700,000 views. I was like, oh my God. Okay, let's try another video. The next video, 300,000 views. I was thinking, shit, like I'm going to be famous if I keep doing this. If I keep doing this, like everyone's going to know me. But like it didn't feel real because like the numbers just kept on going up and up. And I was thinking like, is the app broken? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it really doing these? Like, is 300,000 people seeing this video? I didn't believe it.
Do you believe it now?
Yeah, because like I come across so many people who say, I've seen you on TikTok. I've watched your videos. Yeah.
Because I didn't know if TikTok numbers were inflated by TikTok.
What you thought was a lie?
At some point,
Propaganda.
when it first,
Jack gets deep in conspiracies.
no, when it first started, trust me. But when it first started, I was skeptical because like it was pumping serious numbers for everyone.
Yeah. But why do you think that was?
I think now I look at it in hindsight, it's because there wasn't enough content on the app.
Agreed so much. Like the amount of creators to consumers, there was hardly any. Like the percentage was like wildly low. Because people were like, I'm not going on that app. It's a dancing app.
Yeah, I know.
That was it. That was it for like until probably a year and a half ago. That was it
for sure.
And like that's why, yeah.
Mate, and look, I'm all for getting on platforms early, and I've learned like
we got on it before Charlie D'Amelio.
Who is? I don't know who that is.
The most followed girl.
Honest,
the most followed girl. Do you know Cabby Lame?
No, to be honest, mate.
Do you know
mate, let me just quickly clear this up. Right, I don't use TikTok.
Okay,
I use
fairs.
it for podcasts, obviously, but like I'm not a scroller, so
okay, fairs.
Yeah, I don't.
But basically,
I don't
the most followed fella on TikTok is Cabby Lame.
Yeah.
Is he American?
No, French.
Oh, okay.
But like he doesn't speak in his videos. So he's been with Ronaldo and he just does like stuff like that. And he'll show Ronaldo and that's it. That's his video. But we were on it before him. Charlie D'Amelio, she was the most followed person on TikTok for years until Cabby Lane took her over. We were on it before them, 2018, 19, something like that.
So what videos were you putting out?
Yeah, and also the first video you put out, was there a bit of like, not anxiety, I think that's the wrong word, but like a bit of like apprehension because you're putting yourself out there?
So, like I was saying before, I watched George Sullivan from Soul Supply make videos for his brand, and I always looked at him and thought, sick, I want to do that one day. So then when I created my brand, I was like, to grow the business, video content is what we need to do. So I was doing that on Instagram. And like there was a time when I did a video and then it got put into a group chat that I was in, and they were all taking a piss out of it. And I was like, I either need to, if I want to continue growing my brand, I'm going to have to continue making videos. But if I continue making videos, I'm going to continue getting the piss taken out of me, and I'm aware of it. I always knew that people were going to talk about me behind my back, because you're putting yourself out there. You always do. It's like tall poppy syndrome. People try and drag you down. And especially if you're doing something different, people like, it's different. So, and I get it. Do you know what I mean? It's not like they're horrible people. I used to be that kid.
And also they're just probably bantering you off because they're your mates, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm also like aware that people I didn't know would be talking shit about me as well. Yeah. But and that's just life. That's how people are. I get it. Like I'm not, like if someone said to me like, oh, if I became friends with someone now and someone went to me like, oh, they used to take the piss out of you for the videos to me, I would have been like, fair enough. I was a boy making videos about girls' bags. It's an easy target. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I get it. That's life. Like
girls'
that's what
bags
people are like.
Yeah.
So anyway, like that happened, and I was like, to grow my brand, I'm either going to have to drop these as friends or stop making videos. And I was like, I'm not stopping making videos. So I dropped them as friends.
That's a tough decision to make.
Yeah, it was.
And are these like school friends or?
Yeah, kind of.
So like, how do you go about like dropping them as friends?
Just like left the group chat and then I was done. Yeah.
Any of them reach out to you after?
Not really.
The thing is that...
do you know what I mean? That's how you know.
Speaks volumes,
yeah,
right?
Of course.
At that moment, that's when you know who the real ones are as well.
Agreed. But to be fair, like since we've been successful and that, none of them have really reached out to be like, oh, like congratulations,
nice one, mate.
Stuff like that. Yeah. So like, that was just like, I'm glad that's happened. But that's life. Like you go through phases like that. That's fine.
For sure. So when you start getting this traction for the content,
yes,
does that translate to sales?
No. No.
Because I see this all the time. Like, oh, we get X amount of views. And I'm like, but does it result in conversions?
Yeah. So for us, our brand is massively based on trust, because it's like obviously authenticity's got a question mark over it, conditions question mark over it, like the actual like legitimacy of the business. Like, are you even a real business? Like, will this ever arrive to me? So like my big thing was like just to build massive amounts of trust. And like I put a face to the brand. I started doing real and fake videos. I started replying to loads of people, replying to everyone who was commenting. And like we've just amassed so much brand awareness. Like I was in Harrods the other day. Some woman from Canada comes over to me and was like, I watch your videos, like I love them. I've been following you since 2020. I was like, that's sick. But like, oh, it was wild. Yeah, Harrods in London, when I go there, it's interesting.
So like you've made loads and loads of videos now. So like
over 5,000. Yeah.
Over 5,000.
Mate, that is a fucking stint, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't actually realise it was like that many videos.
Yeah, 5,000 videos.
But like just from my point of view, it's like you've remained so consistent with it.
Uh-huh.
So like how do you do that? Because that is a pitfall and a hurdle for so many people.
Yeah, I think having a partner in Joe who does the operations of the business is massively helpful. And then we got someone else in 18 months ago to kind of take over operations while Joe was doing finance. So that was they were really two beneficial things to stay consistent. Being self-aware that I'm really good at making videos, so I don't get involved with anything else too much. I do a little bit because like I'm a bit like I'm like that, but too much. Like I'm happy just sitting in here all day making videos, creating new strategy, trying to come up with something a bit different. The consistency is like just instilling delayed gratification into yourself, being like, if I do this now, in 5 years, it's going to be crazy. Like we're going to be like, everyone's going to know me. So like, maybe I need to read Ryan Holiday's Ego is the Enemy, but like seeing like those views come in, I was like, oh, it's really working. So it just made like the views that were constantly coming in just made me want to make more and more and more videos.
When you say like you need to read Ego is the Enemy, would you say you got a big ego?
I wouldn't say I've got a big ego, but I'm aware of I have an ego. Do you know what I mean?
We all do, don't we?
Yeah, of course. I'm aware of it. And I know that book kind of like, well, from the title, it's hooked me in. I don't know what it's about, but it's about ego and about how it could be negative. So I need to read about it.
I think it's like more predominantly like what I took from when I read it is that like everybody has an ego, but you need to harness your ego.
Okay, yeah, first.
Instead of just like using your ego for, like negative things and like being...
Oh yeah, I would say like, I will probably resonate with the book a lot then, because like I'm aware I have an ego, but I definitely channel it in a because like I channel it to the videos that I make.
You
Do you know what I mean?
You need an ego though.
Of course,
like,
yeah.
You need an ego for
My
sure.
ego can get out of control sometimes. It can be. It's just, it makes me stubborn with stuff, and then I look at it and I'm like, you're just being stubborn for the sake of it.
But there's probably situations where you are stubborn, but it's like worthwhile.
For sure, yeah.
So like sometimes being stubborn's good.
Yeah, mate, 100%.
In what situation would you say being stubborn's good?
I would say if you're trying to make a decision for yourself, and you know there's people trying to like influence the decision or whatnot, but you know it's right for yourself, and you make that decision, you stick with it.
That's a really good answer.
I think that's a key way to be stubborn. But and then there could be like the flip on it, where like
you're not apologizing because
maybe like you're blinded by faith, so you're making a decision. And it's so hard to be able to like differentiate it, but like you're making a decision. And like you might have your friends or whatnot telling you like, oh, I don't know if it's a good idea, blah, blah, blah. But you're like so engrossed in the decision that you just go for it.
Like a bird, mate. When your mate's telling you she's bad for you and you're just not listening because you need to figure it out for yourself.
Blinded by the faith.
Blinded by the faith, bruv. Bang on. Obviously, mate, you talk about the views quite a lot, yeah?
Yes.
And obviously the views, you know, I can imagine, you know, now are at a really good level. But during that period of growing the brand, were there any sort of drop-offs?
Yeah, 100%. So like content, the algorithm changes all the time. Like at the moment, like we'll have a banger and then like we had a video do 2.6 million and then like 2 videos later did 14k. And then a video after that did 500k. And then a video after that did 400. Then a video after that did 36. So like, it's so like, but that's what's so exciting. Like it's not that you don't know what's going to do well. It's like, you need to figure out what does well so you can do more of it. So like, we're aware of what does well and we're trying to triple down on it. But at the moment, to stay consistent, we have to do those filler type videos to like stay consistent with our audience, to keep showing up. So like, while we try and figure out the strategy of how we can be more efficient at the better videos, we need to do ones that we're aware that won't perform well just to stay consistent. And a few people would disagree with that strategy, but I'm being stubborn with it.
That makes sense, bro. Mate, obviously, that journey of highs and lows with the viewership.
Yeah, it's a game, lads. Like it's so exciting. Like every day I come into work not knowing how the content's going to perform. Like I'll have an idea of, it's going to be quite good. And then when it doesn't, it's like, it's not even like a hit to the ego. It's like, okay, let's understand why it hasn't performed well.
But you've got to that stage now, right? So throughout the process, obviously, when you required more sales, for example, you more emotionally involved in the traction you gained on your videos?
I think I've kept very grounded with it all, to be honest. Like I haven't been too carried away with it. I haven't been too attached to them. I think just like I get to do this as my job every single day. Like there's worse things going on in the world than not getting a few thousand views on a video, or a few million views on the video. Like if it performs well, amazing. I've had an amazing day. If it doesn't perform well, I'm still alive and kicking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like that's actually how I look at it. That sounds like very woo woo and very kind of like extreme. But like it's genuinely how that's genuinely my perspective.
So as the business grows with the TikTok strategy, does the operational side of things sort of go hand in hand with it at that point?
Yeah, so like me, Ollie and Joe, we kind of say like Ollie's the grower of the brand. So like partnerships, dealing with B2B, like other businesses, dealing with the hiring process. He's the grower of the brand. I'm the shower. So like I'll like all the video content. When we go on initial meetings, I'll be like the person to like basically tell the story of the brands to get the potential client in and kind of like on track with where we want to go to make sure they're the right fit of the company that we want to work with moving forward. So like I'm the shower. And then after that first meeting, I'm off. And then Joe's the flower. So Joe makes sure everything flows. So like operations, everyone's getting trained by Joe. New systems coming up to make it more efficient and effective. That's all Joe. So like as I'm showing all like our audience and like potential customers everything about the brand, Joe's in the background making it flow, and then Ollie is trying to scale us in the background.
That makes sense.
In terms of the scalability side and like like achieving more partnerships, like how do you do that? Is there like a strategy behind it or?
Not really. No. We're aware of the steps we need to take to get to where we are, to get to where we want to be. But like we're just taking everything as it comes. Like we're getting so many opportunities and so many things getting thrown at us that we could say yes to, but your success is based on how many no's you say, not how many yeses. So like we need to be very, very careful of what we decide, because focus is really important. And like, if you're juggling too many balls, then they could all fall. So we want to stick to what we're good at and move forwards with what we're good at and go all in on it. Like we 100% leaving money on the table, but that's not why we're doing this.
What are you guys specifically good at?
In terms of what?
The actual business model. So in terms of obviously, you know, the products that you're purchasing.
Yeah. Okay. So as a service, like as a company.
Yeah.
Oh, so we are the best in the UK. And let me explain why. Like genuinely, when I say that, it's not like, oh, we're the best. Like we are, like, this is like, there's evidence to prove that we're the best. So we pay on the same day. So if you want to sell your item to us, we send you a free shipping label. You send it in. It's 24 hours. So it's next day delivery, and then we pay you. So you can get paid in less than 24 hours.
How do you like authenticate within that 24 hours though? So say you're paying me.
Yep.
Like how do you go through the process of authenticating what I've sent you?
Yeah. So it all comes in the morning, and then throughout the day, the authenticators are checking the item, and then it gets passed. It gets like passed on to finance. Say, yeah, it's approved. Basically, the authenticators are condition checking it and authenticating it, and then approving it for payment. And then the payment just gets sent as soon as it's been approved.
They must be active to be able to.
We are so fast paced.
Facilitate the 24-hour turnaround time of payment.
Yeah.
Do you get sent a lot of snides?
No, because we get pictures sent first, so like we can identify them. So we still get sent fakes, but like they're inspected before we pay them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
We create the best content. Like we have Complex copied us the other day, and so did High Snobiety, and they're like the biggest fashion content in the world. Like Complex is, you know, Complex.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So they copied our content the other day.
How's that feel in that moment?
Like we're better than you in it though, because they're copying us. Like they can't make their move until we make ours.
Yeah.
And there's loads of small donnies on like TikTok and Instagram who are copying our content at the moment, and it is very frustrating. But
the thing is, you say frustrating, right? But from my point of view, from an outsider, I'm looking at it like, if I'm in the same industry and I'm looking at you creating like, and you getting millions and millions of views and like your content's sick, like why would you not copy it? Like what's the point in coming up with your own strategy when you can copy someone else's?
It's viral replication, isn't it? Yeah, I agree with you. But it's like we work tirelessly on creating new ideas, and then to see like a B-Tech version of it is like, just come up with your own ideas, like be original, because like genuinely this is like kind of like not a lesson, but like advice to them. It's like, it's not actually a great idea copying for our industry in particular as well, because like it's not like you can sell loads of product of that one thing. Like all our products are unique. You need to attract people to your brand, and if you're just copying another brand, then as soon as people find out where the original source is, they're going to migrate. So you need to give people a reason as to why they're coming to you and not me. Whereas if you're just copying me, then the same reason's there, and they're going to go to the ones that the original ones, because we'll always be first. Like at the moment, that's what I'm saying. Like they could take over us and become better. But what I'm saying is come up with your own strategy and come up with your own original content. Even if it doesn't perform as well at the moment, at the beginning, there'll be a reason why certain people come, and that's how you build your community.
So you mentioned there as well that like you want to get people to come to you. Like if say I'm not one of your clients, like why should I come to you?
That's a good question. So
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think so. We provide the best service. Like we really do. Like we're the only company in the UK that cleans all the items that come in as well. So all footwear, all bags, we clean in-house. Everything we do is in-house. We don't outsource anything. So we'll authenticate in-house. We'll clean in-house. We'll picture products in-house. We store our inventory in-house. So like customer service is also like 5-minute reply. Like we're so quick on everything. Returns 14 days, but I think we're going to change it to 30 days just to improve the customer experience. Like our customer experience is so good. Like our main focus is our customer. We don't care about anything else. Like obviously we do, but like our main focus is our customer. And if they're not happy, then we're not happy. So like if they want to return something that they don't like, yeah, happy days, whatever, just return it. Like we care so much about our customer, and it shows. Like you can, like from an outsider looking in, you can really tell.
How scalable do you think it is keeping everything in-house?
100% scalable. Like we'll just build a big shoe cleaning team, and if we need to increase revenue, we'll offer a shoe cleaning service. And so, but like the Alex Holmes, oh no, I'm not going to say it because
Go on, say it.
No, it's a business, it's a thing that I want to offer our business. So it will come out eventually, but like it's like an added value of what we can offer to our customers without extra charge to them, as to why we'll get them as a customer rather than our competitors. Because we are starting to get like competitors, so we do need to do competitor analysis. So we need to try and figure out how we can get customers instead of them. And yeah, I had a few ideas from reading that book I was talking to you about before.
Yeah, it's a sick book. In terms of customer acquisition at the moment, what are the primary channels?
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and yeah, that's it. Socials, just socials. And Google.
Oh, okay. So it's primarily organic?
Instagram, we do a lot of ads, but not like, Instagram we do ads, so like Facebook and Instagram ads. TikTok, all organic. Google, we do SEO and PPC.
Mate, obviously, if you are doing sort of 5,000 videos over that time span, and it is primarily organic over TikTok, I bet you've learned a hell of a lot about producing a video, right?
Yeah, like I'm fully aware that I'm not the best editor. I'm not the best person on front of the camera. I'm not the best like strategist. Like I am just like winging it. Like we got 1.2 million followers on TikTok.
Huge.
350k on 300 and something K on Instagram, and then 156k on YouTube. And like I'm just winging it. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm just coming in each day, like coming into my team saying like, what do you want to do today? Like it is genuinely that. But I think just because we're so in it that like, and like it's fun. Like I don't want to make it so like not fun. Do you know what I mean? Because like, I want people like looking forward to coming to work. Like genuinely, like if you're so like overwhelmed by all this like social media stuff, just start and just like make it fun for yourself. Enjoy doing it, because that's exactly what I do. Just wing it.
Mate, I rate it so much. And I love that philosophy. And I think that like, although it seems like you're winging it, your intuition is probably guiding you.
Yeah, no,
right?
100%. Like I know what works and I know what doesn't work, and I know what like kind of way we need to go. But like it that's just from experience. And the only way you're going to get experience from doing something is doing something.
So,
you know what I mean?
Although it's a cringy question, but like I think it's valid to ask it.
Let's do it.
Like if someone was starting from scratch.
Yeah, no, agreed. I like it.
Where do you think, they should start, and how would you fucking say, you know what I mean, like get some structure towards it?
Yeah, so make 50 videos of anything you want, and then just see what works.
We'll go for that then, yeah?
Literally 50 videos.
Yeah.
Release them.
How long?
On TikTok, I would say trial 30-second ones, trial 1-minute ones, and trial 3-minute ones. See what works well for you, and then triple down on the ones that work well for you. So working well could be like 30 of these 50 only got 100 views, but these other 20, they somehow got 800 views. And it's like, well, it's only 800 views, but it's 600 more views than those ones that have only got 200 views. So why? And then analyze them and be like, okay, let's create another 50 in the style of these. And then there'll be ones that like get 1,000 views. And then there'll be ones that get like 5,000 views. And you'll be like, why have they got 5 times more views than them? And then you triple down on that. And it's just that process of understanding and analyzing videos of why they perform better and just tripling down on them.
How many pieces of content are we talking about though, to be released a day, for example?
I started doing, and for like 2 years, I did 3 a day.
3 a day?
Yes. But that's the only way, like Alex Hormozy says it. It's like time times volume equals skill.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. I'm completely with you. And I think we need to probably start doing that a bit more for the podcast, to be completely honest with you.
Definitely. But what, in terms of like platforms wise, like I know you said like TikTok and that, but like, would you not release them across all the platforms?
Yeah.
Or would you just focus on one?
No. All the platforms. And that's the beauty of it. But you've got to be careful, because TikTok is 3 minutes. Instagram is 90 seconds and YouTube is 60 seconds. So you've just got to make them native to the platform. But you still can like extract one from one and just put it on the other. That's all we do with Instagram and TikTok. We put the exact same content on there, and we're growing faster than ever on Instagram at the moment.
I'm actually quite interested, mate. So like you've obviously, like exploded since COVID and whatnot the last few years, but like, have you grown as like a businessman yourself?
Yeah. So like I'm aware of, So like this is what people don't understand. Like not don't understand that. I understand that that's life. Like they only see like me from TikTok. But like I don't want to sound like very like eat like hype. But like I genuinely believe I am a very, very good entrepreneur.
You are, mate. Like look what you've built.
No, I know, but people like it's not that like I don't get the credit for it because I'm not bothered about that. It's that like
do you think people see you more as a content creator?
Yes, yeah, like that's it. And I get why. I completely get it. But like I love entrepreneurship. Like the other day, so like we got the Stephen Bartlett Diary of a CEO cards. And I was thinking like, what a really good idea for someone would to be is like make a PDF of these and sell them for like $1.99 using TikTok ads. Obviously you can't do it because they're copyrighted. But like they were 25 quid for a card. And that's just like I come up with ideas constantly. But like I said at the beginning, like your focus has to stay on one thing because like that obviously like I'm not going to go and make PDF cards when like I'm trying to grow the biggest business in the world for pre-loved luxury fashion. But like, yeah, like I really like my communication skills. Like we're working with, I can't say because they're NDAs, but we're working with some of the world's biggest brands. And like, it's like, we're in rooms with like heads of and like managers of global places in our industry. And like, I'm just like a 23-year-old kid. And it's like, wow, like we're sick.
What is it?
Yeah, mate, I rate it. It is sick. Yeah.
But like, when you're in those rooms, like, what are you feeling like, mate? Because
I'm feeling like they need us more than we need them.
And you know your shit, right? 5,000 videos as well when it comes to the content production. Like, it's crazy experience.
Alex Hormozy talks about it. It's leverage. Like we've got leverage, and that's all you need. Some leverage. Like they want something from us. Well, if we know that, then like we're so relaxed and so calm and so confident that we provide something that they need. Like obviously they've got lots that we not need but want.
Yeah.
So like an exchange of value. So like it's just if you're looking to get in these rooms with people, don't just message them. Tell them what leverage you've got over them.
Yeah, mate, for sure. And I'm completely with you on that. But obviously, you know, when you're talking about it, you keep saying we. And you know, you work directly with your brother. How does that sort of pan out, mate? Because obviously he's been super influential from your story the whole time.
Yeah.
And you both, you know, from what you said, compete. But obviously I can imagine there's some friction with it sometimes or occasionally.
There's literally not, you know. Like,
oh, really?
No, like there's so like we both have the same goal of making this the biggest in the world. Like it's so easy to just stay because we're like I said, we both know what we're good at. Like we just stick to what we're good at.
Yeah, right.
Like, obviously, sometimes there is a bit like, "Why the fuck have you done that?" Or like you should have asked me first, or something like that. But at the end of the day, like I said at the beginning, like I'm lucky enough to be working with my brother every single day. We built this already. Like there's worse things going on in the world than making a decision without asking me. And if it hasn't affected things too much, then that's fine. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just having that perspective of like, at least you're still alive.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I always say that to my missus whenever like she gets stressed about something or something along those lines, and I'm just like, babe, like it ain't really that important. You know, we're on a flying rock.
Yeah, like, we're minuscule.
Do you know what I mean?
That
like,
video, Stephen Bartlett talks about it a lot. That video of just like on YouTube, like how small is Earth, and it just zooms out and zooms out and zooms out. And like we are just nothing.
How much perspective does that put into when you see something like that?
It's scary.
We're ants, mate. Genuinely, like, just ants, mate. Mate, obviously, mate, you work with some of the biggest brands in the world, right? You must have a favourite.
Yeah, Louis Vuitton's my favourite.
I knew you were going to say that because you're literally like not head to toe, but like I noticed earlier you got the bag, the sunnies, the
Louis.
Mate, the bag's hard as well, to be fair.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of people find it tacky, and that's fine. Like you're entitled to opinions in it. Like I find other brands tacky, that's fine. Just the heritage, and like I was a big fan of Kanye West, and he used to wear it in when he first come up. Like when he first did the College Dropout album, he rigged himself out in Louis Vuitton, and like the big logos, like they are tacky, but I love it. I love it.
I think also it depends on who's wearing it. It's like
true.
You can get people who are out there wearing it, and not saying like they look tacky, but it looks tacky on them.
Yeah.
Mate, I like Louis Vuitton. Yeah, I think it's hard, mate. Nice. Yeah, I think that's a good choice.
What are you
going for? I'm gonna go for Tom Ford.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
Yeah,
interesting. I didn't expect that. That was a rogue one.
Bro, I don't own any Tom Ford, but like if you know when I get there eventually, then I'd say Tom Ford, mate.
Nice. What about you?
Do you know what, mate? I don't really have a favourite.
Nike.
What? Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Nike.
But have you read Shoe Dog?
Yeah,
I finished it the other day.
and
have you watched Air?
I haven't known.
Oh,
Yes,
it's so funny. I was curling over laughing for like a minute straight, and that's a long time for laughing. Like, honestly, it's hilarious.
Do you know what? I think I have to go Nike. I have to go Nike. But I tell you what, recently, so my brother's into fashion so much, and like he's sort of like, you know, I've been like merging into a little bit of his fashion, and he
has been going quite far that way, by the way.
The other way, he says quite far that way, but like it's not in terms of like what people wear. But
but you have been delving into it a little bit more. I've been
delving in, and like
like smart trousers and Air Forces vibes.
Yeah, like but like I think affordable fashion as well. So like you got shops like Bershka, which my brother shops at like loads, and like I actually think it's quite cool.
What do you think it represent?
I think it's sick, mate. In fact, I watch his Day in the Life, and I've watched all of his seasons now, and he's made me want to convert to 24/7 instead of Nike for gym gear.
Yeah, I wear 24/7.
He's made me want like I feel like I'm a bit of a fanboy. I feel like I bought into him a little bit.
Yeah, so I was obsessed with them last year, and I got close with a few of their team, and I got, like you just said, I got so obsessed with the brand. Like I've probably got about 60 pieces.
60?
Yeah.
It's
like
hefty.
watch all my videos. It's always represent.
Is it?
I'm wearing like the Owners Club hoodies, and then I have the 247 stuff and all that sort of stuff. Like, but this year. And like, I'm sorry guys, like if they're watching, like I had to take a step back because I had to think, why am I so infatuated by this brand? And how can I make people infatuated to my brand like I am to theirs? So I had to take a step back and genuinely look why I was so obsessed with the brand.
Why were you?
I haven't figured it out yet. I genuinely haven't figured it out, but I've had to stop buying from them. Because like it was like becoming an unhealthy addiction because I just love the clothes.
I think I've become, I'm not obsessed with it, but I think I've become interested in it because like George specifically, like, I mean, I don't really follow.
I think that's a massive reason as to why I became so obsessed with the brand.
Bought into
because
him. He's so on brand with his brand.
Yeah, that's why I wear Gymshark, mate. Because I used to love Ben Francis, mate. Like, I used to think Ben Francis. I still think he's sick now.
Yeah.
I'm less involved in terms of like the content around Gymshark, but I used to think Gymshark was like front of the market, mate, for like active wear.
I'd say it is.
Well, yeah, 100%. But like in terms of like,
do you know, there's something interesting. I've not watched one Ben Francis video and owned one piece of Gymshark.
I'm actually sort of with you.
Yeah, mate.
I've watched a little bit of his content, but not a massive amount. But Jack's a big fan.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Gymshark. I think
Isn't
that's
it so
sick.
interesting though? But that, do you know what that shows? It's like the world is abundant for everything.
Yeah. True.
Like you were saying, some guys downstairs before, like talking about, have you heard of this?
Nick Bear, BPM.
Yeah, I was like, nah. And you were like, he's massive. I was like, and then I said Charlie D'Amelio to you, and you're like, nah. Like it shows that the world is so abundant. Like everyone's got different interests, and you can be successful in anything.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
Mate, I'm completely with you, and also it's just personal preference, isn't it? Like, I like lifting weights, and like that's probably why I've like catered more to Gymshark. You're more into like the fitness side of things.
Fitness.
And
I think that's why I brought into 247 because like I just watch his stuff and he's just constantly like active, like CrossFit.
He's a Donny.
I feel like that might be a reason why I buy into CrossFit a little bit as well.
Yeah, no,
it is as well.
Agreed, and it is, and like it's like I think it's I said to you before downstairs. I think it's the storytelling aspect. Like subconsciously, George is telling a very, very good story about his brand, and I think that's why I became obsessed with it. And I think I need to take that on board for my brand.
You've just answered my question earlier that you said you didn't know about.
About
you said earlier when I asked you like, why do you think you got so obsessed? And you said I don't know, but you've just answered.
It's the storytelling.
Just answered it there. I think you tell a great story, by the way, about your brand. Like I watched, we both watched your content on the web, and I've watched a bit before as well.
Nice.
You do a fucking great job, mate.
Thank you. It needs to get better though. Everything needs to get better always.
Which is an amazing mindset. It's an amazing mindset to have.
I think that's the only mindset you can have though, innit?
Yeah.
Like if we're trying to grow something the biggest in the world, you can't have the mindset of like we're there. Like I believe we're genuinely the best at what we do at the moment. But if we stay at this level, we're not going to be for long.
What's the plan with the business then? Because like obviously, you know, you've mentioned about the community element and how you enjoy that of other brands, but like obviously at the moment you don't have a core product other than reselling, right?
Yeah, so like we resell other brands. So it's like, how can we make people like our brand more? And that's what we've done in terms of content. Like we create the best content about these brands. So that's why people come to us, because we offer something that the other brands don't. I think introducing our own products that link in with what we sell is definitely it's happening.
Is that like, for example, like cross-selling? So for example, like Crep Protector or something along those lines?
Something like that, but not that product. But cool, something, exactly. But it's really hard because like we couldn't bring out our own bag.
That's what I was going to ask, bro. Because obviously like, you know, like it's the question, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
but we can't sell like we're a brand, like we're known for reselling luxury goods. Like we can't sell a Luxe Collective bag. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need to sell something that what's the word?
Compliments.
That's it. That's exactly the word. Complements what we sell. So I don't, because we've got something in the pipeline, so I don't want to release anything. I'll tell you after. But yeah, it's like we need to start working on that, which we are working on. But yeah, and also more and more brand awareness. Like we need to grow on socials even more. Like we need to take the opportunity that has come to everyone. Like we need to get bigger on socials, more brand awareness, and then going into Europe and USA. So yeah, that's the next steps for us.
How big are those European and USA markets?
US market's like probably 100 times bigger than the UK.
Insanely big, right?
Europe's probably about like 10 times bigger.
Bro, you should check out the Gymshark videos on how they when they expanded to America.
Yeah,
made us sick. Mate.
Okay, I will do.
Yeah.
I will do.
I think Gymshark have absolutely smashed the American market, so it could definitely be worth having a watch on it.
Yeah, 100%. Our business model is different because like we sell other people's products and like we don't hold mass amounts of one. Like all our products is like unique products.
One
of ones. So like it's gonna be, I wouldn't say harder, but it's gonna be challenging to do it. And like we're up for the challenge. You know what I mean? Like we're very excited by how we can get into, because like we get messages all the time saying like, why don't you, we do ship to like international, but they have to pay customs, which puts off a lot of people. But I connect with a lot of creators from the US, so like got good connections there. All the brands over there know who we are, because we speak with people who are from different brands, and yeah, they're all aware of us, which is nice. We don't speak to them, we don't speak to anyone really. But yeah, it's exciting.
It makes sense, bro. Obviously, mate, we talked about a lot of the personal branding side of things, right? And obviously we've mentioned about what the plans are for the business, but is there a big plan to sort of focus on your own personal brand as well?
Yeah, so it was something I wanted to do this year, and I started doing it. And I did a video, and it got like on my personal TikTok, it got 1.2 million views, and it increased our site traffic by 300% that day.
Mad.
I then did another video 2 weeks later, it got 1.6 million views, and it increased our site traffic by 300% that day again. So like it works to grow the brand. However, I don't know if it's better to do Luxe Collective's TikTok or Ben Gallagher's TikTok. So at the moment, I'm just sticking to what I know, which is Luxe Collective's TikTok. I'm fully aware that it benefits, but I don't know which is the better one to do.
Yeah.
What's the better ROI, basically?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like you could argue like 300% on website visits off that video, that's the better one. It was like, yeah. But how long and how often can you get those videos done? Whereas on Luxe Collective's TikTok, we consistently get millions of views.
The thing is, I'm thinking about that from a consumer's perspective. I'm thinking like, I know we've spoke about it before, but like Represent, for instance, like I feel like I've only gone over to him because of his personal brand.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have brought Represent previously.
I don't engage with Represent's TikTok, Represents content, so like on Instagram. But I engage with George's.
That's what I mean. And like it's the same with BPN we're talking about earlier. Like I don't engage with any of BPN's content, but I engage with Chris Bear's content.
And it makes you buy from.
And it makes me buy from it.
Mate, it's like Mike Thurston, mate. Like I've literally, honestly, I'm not a big fan of Mike Thurston's gear that he sells, but like when I say gear, by the way, I mean clobber. But like his vests, mate, I just want to buy one.
Okay,
like,
here's a counterpoint. Who's the fellow who does that brand you like?
Chris Bear, BPM.
BPM. Is he the face of BPM content? On so like Instagram, it's videos of him.
Just videos of him.
Is it? Yeah.
But like as well, it's like so on brand with.
Can you send me stuff after this?
Yeah, of course I will. Yeah, of course. Like obviously it's a sports supplement, a nutrition supplement, sorry, and all of his content is about doing like physical activity, and like he talks about the activities he's doing. He talks about like preparation for it, the supplements that he takes, like the recovery from it, but it's his own perspective. So like when I'm listening to him, I'm thinking like I'm buying into him so much. I'm like, I'm going to get
What
BPM.
type of content does the BPM page do?
Day in the lives. They do a lot of day in the lives.
His day in the lives?
A lot of day in the lives, and then they like tailor down into, for instance, like he did a marathon recently, and like he was stood, this is just like a small section, but he was stood in front of a whiteboard giving you tips about what you should be doing in your marathon because of what he did. And like it's his own perception, but because I'm buying into him so much,
You're making me think so much.
it makes me want to buy his products.
Is that like Chris Guzman as well?
Christian Guzman, it's a great example.
Unbelievable content, mate.
Chris Guzman is sick, and like his Alpha Elite brand in terms of clothing, I don't think it's that great, but because I love him, I would actually want to buy his stuff.
Yeah, mate. But I'm interested, obviously, based on all of that, where do you think it goes, mate? How far do you think the personal branding is interlinked with companies nowadays? And do you think it's a requirement for business nowadays?
Yeah, it's definitely a requirement, 100%, yeah. You've kind of just got me thinking about what I need to do to this personal branding stuff. This is so interesting. Yeah, like it's definitely a requirement. I think people buy from people, not brands. And that's why I put my face to the business. People buy from people, but yeah, you've got me thinking. I can't even answer that last question. I'm thinking so hard about the personal branding stuff. But no, I need to figure out a strategy of how I can dribble down on it, because all those them examples you've just given is that you don't give a fuck about the brand.
Nah, literally don't.
You just care about the person. It's
Andy
so
Frisella,
interesting.
mate.
Yes.
First form, mate. Like first form, like I only know of first form because of Andy. Like everything about first form is Andy. Do you know what I mean? Like and I've had the products since, and they're fucking top tier, as you would expect, because Andy's endorsed them. There's his company. They're going to be top tier. But before I even purchased them, I knew they would be at that standard because of him as an individual.
I think the scalability of personal branding as well is probably more scalable than a brand, because like you're doing stuff every single day, innit? Like you're always, as long as you're growing and you're working on yourself, there's always stuff to speak about. Always. The scalability of it's huge.
Mate, I'm completely with you. And just on that, obviously we've talked a lot about personal branding, your business, etc. But let's talk about your philosophy, you know, in terms of what you think about life, and why do you think we're here?
Be better than yesterday. That is like, so it's like, if you want to be like, if you want to win the year, like everyone wants to have a good year. It's new year, new me. That's what everyone says, isn't it? Like everyone wants to have a good year. So to win the year, you have to like win the. It's exactly as I was saying before, like reverse engineering it. If you want to win the year, you have to win the month. If you want to win the month, win the week, win the day. So it's like, just be better than you were yesterday. Just like, and it comes down to the littlest of things. And it's like, if you have a cup of coffee and then you're leaving for the day, but your coffee mug's still on your desk, take it down and don't just leave it in the sink. Make sure you wash it, and make sure you wash it 100%, because tomorrow you'll be grateful for it, because instead of having to come up first thing in the morning, bring your coffee mug down and wash it and then fill it up, it's there ready for you. Like, it's just like, it's not even like people think that mega successful people have a massive skill, but it's not. It's just they have so many tiny skills that everyone can have.
Yeah, it's the small things that make a difference.
100%.
Completely with you. And obviously on that, you know, in terms of the philosophy, why do you think we're here?
In terms of what?
Life, mate.
Life.
Yeah, it's a big question, bro.
Okay. Why are humans here?
Why are we here? Yeah, what are we doing, bro?
What are we doing here? That's an interesting question.
Whilst he thinks about why do you think we're here, Joe?
I'm not sure, mate. Yeah. But it's not even like class. Bro, I'm telling you, I've thought through this question thoroughly many of times. And like, mate, I can get so deep with it, but like, I'm not sure. Like, I'm still pondering, and this has come up on the podcast many a times, whether or not this is a simulation. And that's just me being genuine. Like, I'm not 100% sure.
Do you think you can ask a question that you don't know the answer to, lads?
I think he more means like, because he, go on.
I don't have a definitive answer in regards to it, but it doesn't mean I haven't thoroughly thought about like all the avenues with it. Does that make sense?
What point have you got to where you're like, oh yeah, we're here for this reason, and then you've come to a dead end and been like, no, we're obviously not here for that reason because of this?
Simulation is kind of where I've got to, because I'm like, how on earth has this all happened in terms of like chance and everything else, in terms of probability? Yeah. So then I'm like, it feels like it's manufactured.
Yeah.
And then that leads me to think, why am I here for my own personal, what's my personal mission? And I haven't got the answer yet.
I think it comes with age and perspective, doesn't it? I think you mentioned as well, like it changes. Like how come you've got to that point and it's changed? I think because you change so much as a person.
Yeah.
Like everyone grows, your perspectives change, and like you know, like the energy that you surround yourself with, it all changes all the time. So like, how could you ever have a definitive answer?
What was the point for you guys where your mindset shifted?
I think for me personally, it was COVID. And I know it's like probably cliche and like loads of people say, oh, COVID is a huge change, but for me, it actually was COVID because like it put everything into perspective in terms of things that don't really matter, things that I used to worry about.
Like what?
And care about so much. Other people's opinions was number one. And like, in fact, I think that was probably the biggest one by a mile for me, that I used to care so much about other people's opinions. And then like COVID hit and I'm just like, all this is happening in the world and like nobody actually gives a shit about you, Callum, really.
Yeah,
obviously
agreed.
apart from people close to you and whatnot, but like
even they don't, lads.
but
They care about themselves more.
so true.
Yeah.
So for me that was
something that was I when I realized that, I was like liberation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's so liberating.
Honestly, mate, I've always been like kind of that opinion anyway. But I don't really have a definitive point where my mindset shifted. I think I've just been gradually building it. I can't definitively point out where it changed. Yeah, mate, it's a tough question. Yeah, it really is a tough question because like there's been so many little things that have impacted it to like get me to where I'm at today, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is like, I think where you're at with your life determines the answer that you give to that question as well. Because it really does.
If you were this is so true. So we did 2 years ago, me and Joe did a video and like questions like about the business and whatever in our personal lives. And then we did it again this year. Or it was last year, so we need to do it again at the end of this year. We did it again. And I was in such a bad place. Like, it wasn't like I was like, I don't know what place I was in, but I just wasn't in the same place as I am in now or have been for like the last 8 months. If you watch that video on YouTube now, I'm just there like sulking, like watching it being like, yeah, just, I'm not happy and we need to do more. We need to get more. We need to like, but like, I'm still got that mindset, but like, I've got like not that I was pessimistic, but like, I don't know. It was a weird, because like you said, basically the mood that you're in and in that time period affects your answers 100%.
It's true.
Watch that video when you finish it. Honestly, it's like, I'm like not a shadow of the person I am now because it was only recently. It's just like the mood I was in, you can just tell I was just like, no one speak to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I definitely know what you mean because, it's difficult when you are going through like a transitional period to stay as optimistic as possible. Obviously, mate, in terms of the business and everything, I guess that kind of brings us like full circle to where we're at today. Mm-hmm. What's next in the chapter for you guys?
So Europe, USA, bring our own products out, moving units. So like it's 10 to 12,000 square foot unit. It is, depending on what we do to the inside of it. Scaling staff. So like hopefully have a team of like 30 this time next year, or 35 this time next year, 30 by this time next year, maybe something like that. And then, YouTube. I'm on a YouTube course at the moment and I want to really build a community on YouTube. And like, I find short form content quite not easy, but it's just not challenging. So I want to do long form content, which is like 10, 20, 30, 40 minute pieces of content. And like, I really want to get good at it because like, I know it's a massive skill and it's just something that I want to be good at. Because I don't want to stay good at this like for 5 years because like there's nothing pushing me. Like that YouTube is like I am a beginner at YouTube. Like I am really, really bad at it. But like hopefully this time in the next year, it like when we speak next, I'll be like, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting somewhere. We're better than we were last year. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, YouTube's a big one for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Mate, do you know what? I think I'm going to leave it on that. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on today, mate. It's been an amazing episode. Mate, you are inspirational, mate. Like you've done a fucking great job.
I appreciate that.
Like great businessman, like content creator as well. Like, mate, you do a great job, mate.
You're killing it as well, mate. And I have no doubt that you're going to absolutely smash YouTube. And also, mate, I really hope that, you achieve that goal. And I'm sure you will, of becoming the #1 in the world, right?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
For sure. Mate, we'll leave it on that. Thanks, mate.